Hi there, Dead Ideal Boy here, back with another video on the channel, and yeah, we've got some great racing to show you from Daily Race C at Red Bull Ring, and it's all about how I try and cope with pressure in a race. So it's quite an interesting one from that point of view, and it was a really good race as well. But we'll also have a look at a little bit of dirty driving, because it wouldn't be one of my videos if we didn't cover a little bit of that as well. And also, can I just say, I'm having to be quiet again because the baby's sleeping next door. And honestly, if I risk waking the baby up, my YouTubing career will be over well and truly before it's even started. But if you haven't hit the like button and you like this video, do that. If you've not subscribed to the channel, then yeah, definitely do that. We're heading towards 3,000 subscribers, so thank you everybody for the support. But without further ado, let's jump into the action. So here we are, it is Daily Race C from the Red Bull Ring, as you can see from that big redbullring.com banner. And it is a Subaru Group 3 Fest. You can see here it is Subaru after Subaru after Subaru. And yeah, it's the car of choice certainly for this race, which it's not my favourite car, but it's what you need to drive if you really want to compete at the top end. See in pole position, got Wind 109, who is one of the fastest drivers in the world, and he is immediately going to just pull over and drop to the back of the grid and try and have some fun racing from the back. We'll see a bit more of him later, but you can see from my car I have got Rory Alexander, aka Here He Is, in front of me. And yeah, this was part of the sort of, yeah, the title of this video. It's about my inability to handle pressure and the need to get better at doing just that. I think I've touched on it before in previous videos, particularly the video when I was racing against Super GT, and it's just about, you know, coping with the fear of causing an incident or taking someone out, accidentally ruining someone's race. That pressure that I put under, you know, on myself can have a real negative impact on my ability to actually show what pace I have in a race. Now, I've got Rory in front of me, and he is, or was, live streaming this race to hundreds of people, probably around about 700, 800, 900 people, not sure, but it was a busy old stream anyway, and he was 1,000th of a second better in qualifying than me at this point, and that meant I started right behind him. So it was basically going to be a case of trying to, yeah, cope with that sort of threat of staying competitive but not killing someone who is streaming the race to a lot of their followers. So yeah, it's a kind of twofold pressure cooker that I'm currently sitting in when racing here. But as you can see, as lap 2 progresses, we are kind of getting left a little bit. There's a bit of a gap forming because Rory has latched on to the Belgian, so he's using his slipstream to pull away from myself. Clearly had a little bit more pace than me at this point. A lot of people in this race probably did, because this was the first race I had took part in, and I think most people had been racing on this track for most of the morning. So yeah, I was under a little bit of you know, pressure from that point of view as well, because you don't want to be the person just sort of going backwards through the pack as everybody else overtakes you. Now you can see there we've got Shadow GT44 behind us, and he's, you know, probably thinking that, you know, we're an opportunity here to get past, but he's just sitting, biding his time at the moment. We can see Rory is, you know, he's really pressurising the Belgian in front. He's getting involved in a race with him, so we're just going to try and, like I said, keep it nice and tidy. And you can see the first mistake of the race is made by the Belgian, and that gives Rory a great opportunity to get a run down the inside of him. Now, this is perfect. I want the two of them to start racing. I want the two of them to do exactly what they're doing. They're side by side. We are going to just close right up on them. But I mean, it's absolutely brilliant racing in front of us. Look at the respect the two of them give each other. You know, that's what you want to see. That's what this game can be all about. If you get a really good lobby with respectful drivers, you can see a little bit of contact there, but nothing untoward. And both drivers are going to try and keep it going side by side. Rory's just having to tuck in there as the track narrows, and we're going to now just sit nicely behind. So we've gained quite a bit there. You can see the pack is all kind of bunching up behind the Belgian, who maybe he's feeling the pressure. Maybe he's the one that is under threat from the live streamer. And yeah, it's nice to see that maybe it's not just ourselves that suffer from this. You can see we're going to go around turn 1 here, and yeah, Rory makes a nice move up the inside. We're going to just tuck in behind the Belgian now. Shadow GT went a little bit loose coming through the first corner, and very defensive here now from Rory as the Belgian now takes a wider line, hoping to get a cutback and a run down the inside, and he's made a nice little move there. To be fair to him, he's now got the inside line. If he can hold that off, and he's going to do his best to do exactly that. So the tables have turned. Rory's got a little bit of a lead there, but yeah, he just sends at the Belgian, and Rory's going to look for the cutback. We're going to try and get involved in the action here, but once again, this is a situation where I'm feeling like, you know, I'm getting close to the bumper of him. Don't want to take him out, but we're going to see here, we're going to pick up a 1 second penalty. Just ran a little bit too wide there, and that is good news for me, because it means that I just now need to sit behind him, and I'll pick up the position without having to do anything wild, crazy, or, you know, stupid. Not that I would, but you know what I mean. And you know, just want to, if you get close enough now, stay within a second. I'm just going to pick up the position for free, and that'll be perfect for me, to be honest with you. As we take turn 1 successfully, you can see behind Shadow GT has picked up a half second penalty, so things are actually now working out pretty nicely for me, I'll be honest with you. I was feeling a little bit more relaxed now. We're 4 laps into the race. I've not binned it, and we are right on the tail of P2 and P3. So as we come up towards the penalty zone, we're going to see Rory pulling over very respectfully to the right hand side to serve his 1 second penalty, and that is going to be good news for us, because we are going to pick up that P3, and Sydney is going to dive through for 4th position. So that's good. We've put another car between ourselves and Rory, but Sydney, we do know, does have a lot of pace. And by the time we were coming down the straight, heading towards the hairpin in the start of lap 7, you could see Sydney had managed to get right alongside us. And to be honest with you, I decided I was not going to fight him for it, because I could tell he just had a little bit more pace than me, and I wanted to try and use him. We could break free and try and, you know, maybe get clear of the cars behind. But you can see Rory he'd actually served another half second penalty, and he caught back up with us. So we're really going to have to work hard now to stay with Sydney and also defend from Rory. But the good thing is, when you know that the drivers both in front of you and behind you directly are good, clean racers, does help, because you can have that little bit more confidence. Don't need to worry as much when you're getting into braking zones, when you get, you know, a crazy lunge sent on you. So that does help if you have a situation where you can trust the driver in front and behind. At this point, to be honest with you, I was pretty pleased I was just staying with Sydney, and we were catching P2. But you can see here, if we look back, Rory just gets onto the green stuff, and yeah, it was a case of RIP for him. So I mean, you never want to see anybody suffer that kind of well, maybe you do kind of want to see some people suffer that kind of devastating, you know, rip in a race, but yeah, Rory's one of the nicest guys on the game, so you don't want to see him suffer with it. But you can see here, we just get the braking a little bit, we go a little bit deep, we just touch Sydney and no more, and I was pretty surprised to see a 2-second penalty appear for me. I mean, that was an absolute, yeah, I was pretty annoyed at getting a 2-second penalty for the slightest of contacts that never really affected anything, but it is what it is. The game is quite sensitive on penalties at the moment, but what it did mean was that Shadow GT, he is going to be licking his lips and seeing another free position coming towards him, and it did mean that, you know, picking up a 2-second penalty, it was more like a 3-second penalty by the time you've slowed down and sped back up again. But we've got a fairly big gap between ourselves and Wind. However, Wind is one of the quickest drivers in the world, so we did, you know, we knew that he would come back into things if he was given half a chance. But skipping forward to the beginning of lap 10, you can just see in the distance coming over the horizon there, the glimmer of the sunlight hitting the windscreen of Wind's car. So he can see me now, so he's definitely probably thinking to himself he's got 3 laps to make up about 3 seconds on me, and he probably fancied his chances of doing that. So although the gap to P4 at this point was relatively big, it was about 2 seconds, yeah, still was thinking more about the car behind, which was one of the fastest drivers in the world, so the pressure was still on me to maintain my pace and not let him, you know, eat away at a 3-second gap over the course of three laps. So yeah, that was our main focus at this point. But as we take turn 1 for the beginning of lap 11, you can see Wind is now getting ever closer to the back of my car, although still a little bit away. We've just went quickest through that sector for ourselves though, so that was pleasing, and you can see we're actually closing in a little bit on the cars in front. So as we come up to the end of lap 11, we go round the final corner, and it's a corner that you can lose it on, but we have been successfully coming round it for 11 laps, unlike Wind, who you can see in the background. Shouldn't laugh because, yeah, he's one of the fastest drivers in the world, but absolutely wrecked it into the wall there. And to be honest with you, you know, I was relieved because I did actually think he was capable of taking 2 or 3 seconds out of me in one lap, because I just felt like I could make mistakes if he got within slipstream of me. But after he, you know, put it in the wall, I knew that P5 was all mine, as long as we didn't make any mistakes. And no mistakes were made as we come across the, well, not come across the line. We're going to hope that somebody bins it going round this corner here and we can pick up one more place, but they don't. You don't want to see MD binning it really, but sometimes you do. We have finished in P5, and I was actually pretty pleased with that, given my lack of practice and the fact that a lot of people were watching me. So that's just the brutal, honest truth of the matter. So, as promised, we have a little bit of filth to review. You know, it would be one of my videos if we didn't. And it starts off with this innocuous little tap from the German on Wind, and he picks up a 2-second penalty for this and reacts by slamming Kermit the Brit into a wall, and then picks up another 3 seconds for his troubles and decides to just try and take out as many people as he can going into the corner before rage quitting. So I actually felt really sorry for Levitius, to be honest with you, because you can see here he's minding his own business and then oh, it's absolutely savage. Absolutely savage. Oh, it's agonising to watch him trying to get out of the gravel, to be honest with you. But yeah, I don't know what goes through the minds of some players that they decide to react like that and take out players, who knows, but yeah, that's what he did, and you know, maybe we'll be able to report these players successfully one day and get some action taken, but I'd very much doubt it, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's that. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. Obviously, I probably won't get the same amount of views and likes as videos normally do, because it's a race video rather than a dirty driver video. That's just the sad facts of the matter. But if you have enjoyed it, then please think about hitting the like button. Even better, if you haven't subscribed, then you know, hit the subscribe button. We can race. We aren't just about making dirty driver videos. We do try and mix it in the top split dailies as well. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and yeah, I will leave you all with that, and until the next video, I'll say goodbye.